Funny, it's funny what a difference a little bit of planning and a few dollars will make. Hi, this is Doug. You may be one of my subscribers that has come to my channel to watch my videos. If you are, I'm glad you're here. I hope you'll take the time to watch the videos. If you're here, you're here. I'm going to start saying that because it might sound really weird, because right now you aren't here. And the only way you're going to be here is if you're here. Isn't that simple and profound? Truth is, I really wish I was retired. My Lyft riders often ask me, why did I go to Japan? And I tell them I have two Japanese friends. This is actually Saori, a new Japanese friend that I made near Fujisawa. So my Driving to Tokyo channel has many parts. Many of the pictures and videos just kind of happen organically. It's a perfect example. This is Elsie. She is a female truck driver that I met just kind of spontaneously. We were both based in Phoenix, but this photo was actually taken in one of our terminals in North Las Vegas.
So we watched, like on my 34s, I will binge watch Korean dramas all day long and not get out. I'm like, I'll order Uber Eats and I'll be like, it's delivered to me, so I don't have to get a truck, you know? So I just binge watch, you know, Korean dramas, catch up, you know, I'll watch a whole season and I'm like, great, now I have to find another one. You know, sometimes I'll lose sleep over it. I'm like, oh, I can't, I just got to finish this last episode and then I'll go to bed. Just one more. So.
This is Elsie standing by her Volvo truck when I spontaneously met her at the North Las Vegas yard when we were both passing through at the same time.
Oh, okay. Looks like she might have her. Okay. So.
No, I
okay,
did.
There you are. Yep, you're good.
Yeah.
And
I
then
can hear you now. I can hear you now. Cool.
Yeah, I was trying. This is the first time I've used Zoom.
Oh, no worries. Hey,
Oh, well, fantastic. We're glad to have you. There's always a good first time. It's a good place to start.
Did the video go away?
It did. I could just hit ask to start video and you should get a prompt and then you could join the video.
Okay,
there we go. There we go.
All right, Elsie, nice to meet you here. Great to have you on. Thanks for taking the time out. You got Doug and Mike here. Nice to meet you officially.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, with Driving to Tokyo. Go ahead.
Do you work for Night too?
No, I just got a picture background. I felt left out.
For all my Japanese English-speaking friends, if you're not familiar with where South Dakota is, it's one of our 50 states. It's up north. That it's below North Dakota, which is up near the Canadian border. It's a state with very low population, and I might try to grab the camera and show you what I'm looking at. Let me see here so I can show you what I'm looking at. See, that's what it looks like going down the highway. In San Antonio, Texas, with my dear friends Brian and Sandy. It's a real treat. They're in my truck, and Brian, I just gave Brian a little mini trucking lesson, so he's going to talk about it.
I learned a couple of things. So we put the kind of like a jack, the legs down. What are they called, Doug?
Landing gear. Brian and Sandy, note the landscape in the back. This is in Monument Valley. It's the same area I drove when my dad called me on June 1st and said he was dying. So I drove through this area. It's also the same area where Forrest Gump was filmed. And also, when I drove from Denver to Arizona City, I drove through here. And then when it came back from Arizona City to Denver, I drove back through here. But bottom line, these are my friends, Brian and Sandy, who just recently had their first baby boy. And I've done a lot of stuff with Brian and Sandy. They actually met. Brian was in the Empower Network with me. We went to multiple events together. And then Sandy started out as a prospect. She watched his videos for, I think, 2 years. Then they ultimately got together. They're my avatar couple. They're totally in love. She's from Peru. Brian's from Texas.
Landing gear. We brought down the landing gear because he's a land pilot. So yeah, lifted that up, went forward a little bit, backed up, and reconnected to the trailer back there, and then went into the back and raised the landing gear all the way up. Took some of these brakes off here, both of them, and went forward. Got to feel what it was like to drive with the actual trailer behind me. Now it's not loaded, so it feels way different when it's full of, thousands of pounds of stuff. But yeah, got to get a little idea for what it is. It's pretty cool. He's got these buttons that do a lot of the work for him, so he doesn't have to manually move it around, and all kinds of lights. Very self-sufficient, very roomy, plenty of space. I mean, that might be like what, an 8-foot tall ceiling?
Well, I'm 6'3", so
Yeah, maybe 8.5, something like that. Plenty of room.
The trailer,
the
trailer's 13.6, so it's pretty tall.
Yeah, very tall.
So I appreciate. I just wanted to give Brian an experience of actually doing a little something.
Thank you so much for that, Doug. That was fun. That was cool.
And to give you a perspective, I started my day about 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's now almost 9 o'clock in the morning here. It's still just barely light, but I've driven about 3 hours, and there's been basically miles and miles of nothing like this. When I mean nothing, no cities. I'm just coming up to, I guess, a pilot truck stop. It's the first one I've seen now in 3 hours. So I'm going to try to turn my camera around here, back to facing me.
Oh, I'm on home time, so
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if it's okay, Mike, since I met her, I'd like to tee it off
Absolutely.
and tell how we met, and let her definitely jump in. I'm real excited because I love. Anytime I see women truck drivers on the road, I get excited because I'm really pro women getting out of their comfort zone and doing things that normally you would think they weren't doing. Because I'm older. I'm from the 70s. Back in the 70s, women weren't laborers. They weren't out doing the things that men were. And there was a lot of trailblazers. Now, like I'll see a truck. This morning, I saw a tanker go by, and a woman was driving the tanker, and I was like, yay, So when I saw her, I was leaving the driver lounge, and we both worked for Night Transportation. I kind of saw the back of her, and something told me to talk to her. And to be honest with you, I didn't want to hassle her or anything, because I know how it is when you're a driver, because I'm a driver too, when you have your off time. Like I think LC said, when she's off, she'll just do her thing, and then she'll go in the truck and kind of pull the curtains, and you get in your own little cocoon. And I do the same thing. But something told me to say something and at least break the ice. And so I came up to her, and I just basically told her about the making of the videos in my channel. And the first thing that kind of caught my attention is because, this is driving to Tokyo. We got on the subject of Japan, and she said she had actually been there before. So to me, that was kind of a confirmation from the universe I was supposed to talk to her. But the other thing that really got me is I later found out she wasn't there just in Japan. She actually lived there for 6 years. You know, she actually lived there. And then and I'll let you jump in a second, but what I remember you telling me is that you've been driving 2 years and that you were a trainer. And there's sometimes you had gone out for like 3 months at a time. And there's times you did like 3,500 miles a week. So I was like, wow, this woman's really serious about her truck drive. And you can kind of tell by the way she was talking that she's really serious about it. And the last thing I want to say that I thought was really cool, and I'd like her to talk about this, is how she got involved. She said that her husband was in the military, and she more or less said that she told her husband it's her time to go and be deployed and get to travel and go out and kind of get out of the house and kind of reverse roles. And that's kind of what she ended up doing. And I thought that was really cool. So, Doug from YouTube, driving to Tokyo. I have a celebrity here in the 16th wine country. His name is Mr. Gentry McComb. He was playing here 20-something years?
Yeah, 20 years.
20 years. 20 years. He's coming out to you right now. Here we go, bro.
Celebrating my 20th season.
Sorry. I call driving to Tokyo. Now, it seems like my audience is not Sylvia or Chikako or family members or my sisters. Well, certainly not my father, because he's passed away, sadly, and regretful. I lost my father March 17th. But it seems like my audience are the people I'm going to meet today and every day with my Lyft business. One by one, they're becoming subscribers. But I want to highlight one by one. I'm going to turn around and show you corner of 17th and Wynkoop, 1 block from where I live. I'm standing in front of Union Station right now. Man, you are see, you can't see yourself like I see you.
I can't. Yeah, I don't know that anyone. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm telling you, bro. How's things with your girlfriend in the studio?
Good, really good. Yeah,
Now we only have a few minutes together.
Yeah.
Tell me what's your typical. You work here.
Yeah.
When do you go to the studio?
Let's see. So I do about 4 days here, about 8 hours a day, and then I usually.
Yeah, this is a magic. Well, I just came out the back door.
I know.
I can't film you in the restaurant.
Was this your built? Where?
This is the back door, bro.
Nice. There you go.
I'm just telling you, hello, my friend. Someday, some way, come up to my studio.
Hell yeah.
Take like half an hour. We could do off-duty shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, tell me about. So you work here 8 hours a day?
Yeah. So I'm usually here, and anytime I'm not here, I'm making
In studio. So it's like you. Anytime I'm not driving for Lyft,
Yeah.
I'm fucking making videos.
Yeah. Very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar. And I feel like you have to.
You understand? Don't you
You
think
have to
I'm
do that stuff.
a pretty cool dude for 70?
You're pretty cool. Man.
Now,
You're
what do you
pretty
think?
cool. 70 is great. I don't think it doesn't seem like you're 70.
No, I'm not 70.
No.
Now, I shaved my beard.
Yeah.
Do I look different?
A little bit.
No, do you think I look younger?
Definitely younger. Yeah. But honestly, you still didn't look. You didn't look 70 with the beard. Even.
But
the beard.
don't you think I look like a cool dude with my beard? I look
You
like
do look cool with the beard. You look cool with the beard and without the beard.
one of those ZZ Top. Do you remember the ZZ
Yeah,
Top?
ZZ Top, yeah.
I convinced these Russian dudes. I'm a retired ZZ Top dude.
No
I'm just
way.
driving Lyft for the hell of it. And I had them open up ZZ Top with the guy with the beard. I said, I'm just a millionaire. I just drive for Lyft for the hell.
Do they believe you?
Yeah, they
That's
believe me.
Awesome. I love that. That's so.
Give it on up, y'all. Ginger McComb Show. Check it out.
Gentry, I tried to sneak up on you. How's it going, bro?
There you go.
What's going on?
All right, thank you.
You got something there?
Yeah, something for you. Which one you want? You want this one? I'll take out.
Bro, this a gift to me?
Yeah,
This is so cool, bro.
yeah.
Mr. Gentry McComb gave me a picture.
Yeah, that's it. The veteran Ginger McComb Show.
I'll take this, bro.
All right.
I'm gonna put it on my channel, on
Uh-huh.
my videos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you're the main
live,
man.
Ginger McComb, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have copies to give to everybody.
No, but you gave me one, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gentry gave me this. Means the world, bro.
Funny.
Just spontaneous. I was up
You
going
need
to.
to get one of the hats that they had. Didn't they
Yeah.
have hats and stuff?
Yeah, you know, remember the ZZ Top?
Oh yeah, dude. I love them. Yeah,
They were a cool dude.
Well, what's that song?
They had a
Sharp
lo-
Dressed Man was one
Yeah.
of their songs. Yeah, yeah.
And they played in Denver a number of times.
Did they really?
Red Rocks.
Did you ever get to see them?
Yeah, I
That's
actually was a
awesome.
limo driver down in Hyatt. So you don't
Yeah.
know a lot about me.
Yeah.
And I saw him getting on the bus. You got to admit that Red Rocks is one of the best venues.
100%.
Name is Eli Bezos. And
Who are these? These are your bros?
Yeah, this is the life quote. Come and go.
Where are you guys from?
Russia.
Russia!
Yes.
Oh my God! You mean you speak Russian in English?
Yes, sir.
My God! I'm gonna. This is like majorly cool.
Yeah.
Why'd you come to Denver?
cause like my city got bombed.
Your city got. Are you like fucking serious?
I'm not joking.
Your city got bombed.
My wife's no. My sister's husband died.
Yeah. Are you?
So we had to
So all
defend
the Americans, we see all this bullshit going on there. Is this real?
it. Yeah, this is real. No
Sorry,
no cap.
Young dudes. You're Russian?
Yep.
You're Russian too?
Yeah, he's my brother. Our sister's husband died. Yeah.
Are you dead serious,
I'm
bro?
being for real. Him and
I'm
my
gonna put you on my channel, bro.
all right.
What's your channel called?
Driving to Tokyo. Do you have a phone?
Yeah. Can I record you?
Yeah.
All right.
Ca-
Yo, we're with Tokyo driving.
Drive.
Do you have any questions
Now-
for us?
Yeah. No, I. This is cool shit because I'm 70 fucking years old.
Wow.
I'm a cool dude.
You
But
been in the World War II?
I was. No, not quite that
I'm
old.
playing, I'm
But
playing.
do you have a phone?
Yeah.
Do you have YouTube?
Nah.
YouTube?
I got
I'll
YouTube.
record it.
Okay.
I'll follow you.
Okay. I want to invite you. You guys are cool shit. You guys are young dudes. What? Okay. Can I tell you? Go to YouTube.
All right, yes sir.
Do you have YouTube here?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. That's Japanese.
Oh, wait, driving in Tokyo?
Driving Tokyo. Hi, hi. What could you like to go? Hi, why yo. See, I'm
You
hi, welcome to hi, yo. No. No, I'm not.
Wait, driving in Tokyo.
Hi, yo. Oh yeah. Wait. Hi.
Which one?
Okay.
Driving to Tokyo.
Go to YouTube. Go
What are we
to
saying right
go
now?
search. Hi. 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 Yo. Okay.
Wait.
Okay, go to like type in driving to Tokyo. See right there. Done in Tokyo. Driving TO Tokyo. And then just put a space channel right there. See that's me.
you?
Yeah. This
Who-
is
who's
me.
that? That's sick. I'm gonna follow you.
Yeah, follow me.
subscribers.
100%. Yeah.
Have you
That's
been to Red
crazy.
Rocks?
ZZ Top at Red. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I love.
As
I
a
love
sound engineer, don't you think you got to admit Red Rocks has got to be out of the whole planet one of the best venues for rock?
100%. Yeah, I feel like Red Rocks is. It's just so unique. I think that's what makes it cool.
The view of and I, as a limo driver now, as a Lyft driver, I take people up all the time. Okay, I'm actually got this 1 terabyte phone off to my right. I'm not holding the phone, and I'm not really, might look like I'm staring at the phone, but I'm just glancing over there, and I'm driving in my black all-electric car. At this point, I'm driving over to one of 2 places that I go to frequently. What it is Starbucks at Glendale. It's the one I choose to go to every morning Mercantile Square Loft apartment, which is at the corner of 16th and Wine Coop. I have a really, really good video of me walking from my apartment out into the street and randomly, just spontaneously bumping into someone on the street and having an awesome conversation about my Mercantile Square Loft. I think that conversation really is an excellent video to kind of capture how happy I was there when I moved in. Why was I happy? Well, first of all, I had been away from Denver because of my trucking career, which spanned 13 years. From my first company, I was hired April of 2009. It was CRST in Fontana. I would end up being with that company in East Valley, Los Angeles for 3 years. I would travel 650,000 miles coast to coast with multiple co-drivers, and I became a trainer, and I was with that company 3 years until making the big transition from going home to my folks' house in Big Bear City, California, all the way to my mom and dad decided to move, sell their Big Bear City house, and ultimately my mom and dad, myself, and even my sister Kathy would end up out in Arizona, which is a completely different environment than East Los Angeles and Big Bear for that matter. Big Bear was a ski resort area that looked just like Colorado. But nevertheless, my parents would pay cash for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. And I have mixed feelings about the proposal and the way things worked out now that I'm looking back on it. But initially, they said that if I was willing to pay the taxes, the insurance, which is 2 expenses you would have if you paid cash for the house or even if you financed it, the water, the sewer, the trash, the internet, basically pay for all the base expenses, I could live in the house rent-free, mortgage-free. When I say live, I actually didn't ever live there full time. I was basically spending 4 days out of every month there because I got 1 day off for every week I was on the road. So technically, I was never there full time. I'm driving to charge my electric car. It's my second electric car, my third car with Lyft. I've been on the Lyft platform 3 years. This is my third summer, and I'm in trouble financially and at the risk of losing this car, and I can't lose this car. It's like if I lose this car, I'm dead. It's like checkmate. Now, there is at least the possibility that I can save this car, and a lot depends on what literally happens between now 3 o'clock in the afternoon and 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, Monday. When every single Monday forever, my Lyft business rental business will reset, meaning I will owe $420 on this car. That's the bad news. The good news is what's different about Lyft versus Hoover. I don't have to pay the $420 in the form of a credit card payment before I can drive next week. In fact, regardless of what happens today, I will be able to drive this car next week. But the key point is really important. It depends how much I drive next week will depend on how much money I have to charge this car. That's the bottom line. Because I've already had this happen twice. This car is the center of my universe. Without this car, I don't have a place to sleep at night, because I've been sleeping in this car, just like I did with my 2017 Prius Touring. My first summer, I slept in my car. In fact, I specifically slept in my car around the corner from St. Mark's Coffee House with custom WeatherTech shades. I'm doing the same exact thing now, 3 years later, but with a different car. Same business, just different car, electric car. And I'm sleeping in my car because I voluntarily decided, after 2 years and 4 months of paying about $1,100 rent in my loft apartment, even though that was a 50% discount, even though apartments, just because of the location, would normally be $1,800. Not the apartment itself. The apartment itself had a small little tiny bathroom without any upgrades. A walk-through kitchen with no counter space, an old sink, original stove. The kitchen was not even really like a kitchen. It was like a walk-through kitchenette or something. The best part of it was the refrigerator, just simply to go to Whole Foods and get beer and have a place to put it in the refrigerator. So the apartment itself, the biggest thing with the apartment, yes, was the discount, but most importantly, the location. Now, I decided to voluntarily break my lease and move out of my apartment after 2 years and 4 months because I realized a couple realizations. Number one, even with the time I moved in from August of 2022 to about maybe a month ago, I had spent somewhere around just shy of $30,000 in rent. And I realized if I rented and stayed there the rest of my life, which I really intended because I loved it. I did a lot of videotaping. I met all kinds of new friends, including Bloom and Legal Pete's, where all our conversations were at Legal Pete's. I loved the location, but so here's the key point. Even though I no longer have that apartment, even though management now wants to collect a closing bill of $2,400, which I don't have, but nevertheless they sent me to collections. Even if I pay that $2,400 and I don't owe them any more money, I'm going to come out ahead financially, long term. I want to highlight long term. And I'm perfectly fine sleeping in the front seat of my car, because from 10 o'clock in the evening to about 4 in the morning, I feel fine. Now, this is a park up here. I've never driven through here before. Take a chance. But the point is, I can still walk around in the same locations outside of my apartment. Cummins Park, Whole Foods, all the Starbucks locations, because I can park by Cummins Park for free overnight and camp out there if I really want to. It's the second option, from 8 o'clock at night till 10 o'clock the next morning. So the point is, just in rent alone, after I get through this tough time, and the important part, the absolutely critical part, is to save this apartment, save this car, because it's like it's where I sleep at night. And second really important thing, in fact, this really important thing is that this car is important, but my phone, keeping it alive, is important because it has my lift out. And most importantly, I can have this car, literally I can have this car tomorrow and all week to drive, available to drive. I can have my phone on. My phone isn't in jeopardy. Technically, my car really isn't in jeopardy. Okay, my phone isn't in jeopardy. My car isn't in jeopardy. So therefore, my lift app is in jeopardy. But here's the key point. I can literally, right now I'm at 84%, and I'm almost 300 miles I can drive. However, if my battery goes down to, let's say, 15%, and I can only drive 30 miles, and I don't have any money in my personal account, I don't have any credit cards to use, including my Apple card that's maxed out. I don't have any way to load up and put more money in my Electrify America account. My car will sit, and every day it sits, I lose money. So that's why it's critical. I can't screw up anymore. So when I have 7 hours to drive, I have to drive 7 hours. I'm coming up to Alameda now. So I'm going to charge my car. I still have about 10 more hours I can drive between now and 5 in the morning. Now where I screwed up is last night I could have driven another 7 hours. That would be $140 more I could have had. And with what I'm going to do today, I would have more than enough. I feel pretty secure with like $250 going into the week to charge my car. But I didn't. And that's how I screwed up. And I can't do that anymore, period. Second thing that happened that was real significant, I have this phone as my primary phone. I absolutely can't pawn this or lose this or turn this off. I have to have this phone. It's a 1 terabyte phone. It's the center of my universe. It's how I'd make my videos. However, I had a second phone that was live with T-Mobile. My T-Mobile account was a 2-line account. So I was using my second phone to do all kinds of cool stuff with my video making. But when I got tight on funds, it looked like I wasn't going to be able to charge my car. I pawned a third phone that was not even on. It was like a $400 phone that I owned that I was not using. So I pawned it at a pawn shop and I got $125. This is about a week ago or so. That gave me $125, $80 to put in my primary account and be able to set up my Electrify America account so that I could charge my car. Then I took my second phone in and they said they would give me $225. So the point is I've got $300 to use to charge my car. That saved my car. But now I don't have any more phones. So the point is I'm right in critical survival mode. And it's scary. I don't want to lose this car. On top of it, it's a really nice car, and I don't care about the $1,600 a month because I can earn it, and I have to earn it. Now, I've got all kinds of credit card debts and stuff that I'm responsible for over and above what I just said. But those things all come secondary. This guy just cut right in front of me. Oh well, I think I might have to sell a spot here. I think. So I'm at the charging station. I would come there for my home time. Now my parents ultimately would also buy a second house for themselves in Arizona City, Arizona, which ultimately would end up being their first primary home. And then they bought another house for my dad down the street, same street as mine, where he set up his art studio in the garage. Because they had so much art and their Big Bear City was so big, they had to have 2 houses to hold all their artwork. My house, they said I could do whatever I want with it, paint it whatever color I wanted, furnish it, everything. So I did that. I would end up with Knight Transportation. I was hired with them May of 2012, which is, I guess, about 13 years ago. And they would give me a brand spanking new Volvo with automatic transmission, and they let me drive that brand new truck home for the first 3.5 years. I would end up being with Knight Transportation 10 years. So after 3.5 years of driving the Volvo home, they said I could no longer do that. I'd have to basically drive back and forth to the terminal, which was approximately about 57 miles or about an hour drive. Now, if you're not familiar with Phoenix or even Las Vegas or the desert in Southern California or the southwest part of the country, Phoenix is by far the Los Angeles of the desert. It's known for being super, super hot in the summer, 110 degrees Fahrenheit and cooling down to about 80 something. And that's all the way from June to about October. However, from October to May, it's like springtime weather, where the rest of the country, including Denver, it snows or it gets cold. In Phoenix, it's beautiful. That's one of the reasons why Dean Graziosi, Tony Robbins' partner, has made Phoenix his home for 20 years. He's living there with his wife, Lisa, and 4 children, and he is the partner of Tony Robbins. Now, I believe Tony Robbins has multiple homes, but one of the last events that I recorded, Tony was in Florida. Now, I say Tony has multiple homes, not just one. And but Tony and Dean are partners. They've been partners for 26 years. And Dean has told the story that he started out as a student. He saw Tony's info commercials. In fact, the same exact commercials I saw, he read the same exact books. In fact, I met Tony in Southern Cal, and also I've been to Tony's castle. In fact, right down the street from Tony Robbins' castle in Del Mar was where I met my first and only wife at the Earth Song bookstore, which resulted in she proposing to me 3 weeks after meeting me, and I had been doing soulmate affirmations with Paramahansa Yogananda, my guru. So those were interesting times. But the truth is, Dean is something special. You can imagine starting out as a student, and you did so well mentoring with Tony that Tony asked him to partner with him. And they really complement each other, although Tony's 6'7" and Dean's tiny. And when Dean first started out, he looked very, very young. He looked like a little boy. So they made an interesting combination. But in my opinion, there's a lot of gurus out there, including my old mentor, Jack Canfield. But I feel, for me, I can only speak for myself, they are the best in the business as far as mentoring people and doing large virtual events, to the point that Academy Award-winning actor Matthew McConaughey decided to partner up with Tony and Dean to start putting on these incredible virtual events that are broadcast of all places from Dean Graziosi's headquarters in Phoenix. Now, what's interesting is Knight Transportation's largest terminal, not their only terminal, but their largest terminal is in Phoenix, the same city as Dean Graziosi's mastermind headquarters. Now, Knight Transportation had terminals all over. In the Los Angeles area, their terminal was in Fontana. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to that terminal. They had terminals in Central California, Tulare. They had terminals in Portland, Oregon. Terminals in Salt Lake City, Utah. Terminals in Las Vegas. Terminals in El Paso. Terminals in Dallas, Texas. Terminals in Houston. All of these I've been to a number of times. Terminals in Kansas City. Basically all over the country. Now, I didn't go to the East Coast terminals as often as the West Coast or the western part of the United States, because technically my territory was 11 western states. But anyway, enough said. I'm gonna go back inside and make this morning's video. It's what I do every morning over a cup of coffee. But I've got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to really step up my game. And I've decided, at least during summertime, probably the best schedule to keep because of the heat and because there's less traffic is to work in the evening, in fact early morning hours, and potentially take the day off. But that means I'll have to probably run my air conditioning inside my black all-electric car. I'm going to rest during the day. But nevertheless, this is my new normal. As of, well, it's July, I think it's July 18th. I just had a video call with my Nichiren Shoshu sponsor last night, and our next one is coming up on Tuesday night. At 5 a.m. because of a variety of reasons. Actually, there's several reasons which I'll cover. Number one, when I car camped in my 2012 van in the winter of 2022, it's now July 19th, 2025 at about 3:49 or about 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday. And I've already worked today and I've done, I think, close to $90, but I still have $80 more today, Saturday, to close out my $400 Lyft rental. And then I'll have tomorrow, 5 a.m. to Monday at 5 a.m. to make a profit. That's what I'm working on this week. I'm driving my third Lyft car, but backtrack, flashing back to the winter of 2022. I successfully car camped in Encinitas, California. This is very significant, and this is part of my story, my Driving to Tokyo story. That's very significant. After 10 years of employment with Knight Transportation, I might add, and 10 years living in Arizona City in a home that my mom and dad paid $47,000 cash for, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. I had 10 years, a decade of what Matthew McConaughey in his book Green Lights would call a green light zone. This wasn't just a couple good days or a couple good weeks. I had 10 years. That was probably 10 of my best years of my life related to not relationships. I still haven't been a serious relationship since Sylvia, and I left Sylvia April 20th, 1999, right? And that's been 26 or 27 years. And we're not really speaking or communicating. In fact, recently I got a Facebook Messenger text from her. I've kept Facebook Messenger open, so even though she may be in Brazil or England, no matter what's going on in her life, we've kept that open. So there has been an open Facebook Messenger account that we both use, where she has the opportunity to reach out to me or communicate or talk to me. In fact, if she really wanted to, we can do what I'm doing right now with my Nichiren Shoshu sponsor and friend. We have the same kind of Facebook Messenger account. Just the difference between her and Amy is Amy calls me, literally calls me from Tokyo, and she comes on via video. I don't know if you're familiar with Facebook Messenger, but you can text. That's what Sylvia has been limited to, is just texting me. She doesn't do audio, she doesn't do video, but you can also do audio like you're doing a regular phone call, but you can also do a video call and there's no limitations. Well, recently, this is to show how things can change between people over time. Sylvia just simply wrote to me and said, hi. And so the key phrase was, I usually don't watch videos, period. I usually don't watch videos. If you have something to say, please say it in text. Thank you. That's at first I was like taken back. I hadn't heard from her a long time, and this is the extent of the communication. And I said, I really don't have anything to say. And then she said, okay, be well. That was it. Then I felt bad about just kind of feeling bad that she was reaching out. I didn't even take the time to write, or I was taken back that she's not even watching my videos. So anyway, the reason why I was kind of sad and upset and heartbroken about it, I had been sending her videos, not to reconnect as boyfriend, girlfriend, but just when she broke up with me on my second trip to Brazil. She told me on the beaches of Porto Seguro after I went the first time, December 1998, everything I thought went wonderful. We videotaped everything. We had an awesome time. It was the first time that we actually physically met each other, were with each other for a solid 5 weeks after communicating on the computer exclusively. We had over 2,000 pages of email. I was spending at that point 50 cents a minute to talk on the phone with her live. We were doing chat. Anyway, when we met, we became boyfriend, girlfriend on 4th of July weekend of 1998. And that's how we met, is through the computer, through the internet. And I thought it was awesome. And the feeling was mutual. And when we got together in December 1998, everything went totally awesome. And I decided to come back to Brazil, and came back a second time, got a romantic holiday. We flew to a place called Porto Seguro, and that's when she told me that she just wanted to be friends. And the key point I want to make is, it wasn't that we weren't in love or we didn't have an awesome time. I think it was just circumstances. It wasn't sustainable. And she basically told me on that trip, while you're here this time, we're going to remain boyfriend, girlfriend. In other words, nothing's going to change. We're still going to be intimate, and it'd be like we haven't broke up. But when you go back to Denver, we're just going to be friends. And so it was amazing. She told me she wanted to just be friends, but through that whole second trip, we were videotaping each other. She was asking me if I still loved her, and the chemistry, nothing really changed. I just felt like it doesn't even feel like we broke up, and that's how our last visit was. In fact, I had such a great time with her. We postponed my departure to come back to Denver, but the point is, we never got back together. And for about 5 years, she was writing me handwritten cards, and we had a affectionate friendship, and for 5 years. And now, it's 26 years. She ended up marrying a guy named Arthur in a dual wedding with their daughter. So the point is, I don't have any expectations that we're going to get back together. I just was interested. She was so special, and she was the last quote-unquote serious girlfriend I've had. I just interested in having a lifelong friendship. But her message, hi, I usually don't watch videos. If you have something to say here and text. And I should have probably felt like, well, she's just saying what works for her. She doesn't watch videos. And even though we used video, we videotaped everything when we were together, that was another time. And I should have taken as, just text is what works for me. But nevertheless, let's put that aside. Let's focus on the present. I'm actually going over to a place that I go to every day at 5 a.m. It's Starbucks. Now, to give you a perspective on how my life is so much different than when I was with Night Transportation. These people, they go, I just don't know how people drive here. They either drive like they're half asleep, or they drive like they're in the Indy 500. And that's another whole thing. The difference between when I was with Lyft, what was with Night Transportation, I got about 5 more minutes before I get to Starbucks, and then I pull up, if the space is available, I pull up right to the front door where my electric car is facing the front door, and I have access to the Wi-Fi. That's probably not going to be available, but sometimes it is, even in the afternoon. But every morning, every single morning, I show up there at 5 after car camping in this car. I show up. I can't really. Anyway, this is bumper to bumper traffic, and I can't tell whether people are letting me in or not because, you know, these other people, okay, I guess they are kind of letting me in. But see, these other people don't see that I'm coming out. See, they don't. Shit. See, they don't see that they're letting me in. This is such a dangerous intersection. I don't like the way people drive here. I've been driving here now since I got back to Colorado. I've been driving 3 summers. And it's the first time I've been here in Denver after living here from August 1990 to age 37 to 55 when I left January 2009. I took a one-way train ticket to Southern California to meet my then 75-year-old dad. The bottom line is my whole life has changed and been turned upside down since I lost my job November 5, 2021 because of a microsleep. That was the start of my whole life, going from a green light, totally happier than I've ever been, even though I wasn't in a relationship, have not been in a relationship with anyone, probably never will be in a relationship, but I'm talking about as far as doing something I loved, driving a truck, working for a company I thought loved and respected me, and having a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house that I came home to for my 4 days of home time. And my parents, who I only saw once a year here in Colorado when I lived here, I saw them every single month, 4 days out of the month, and I loved my life. I came home from being on the road a full month, and I had 4 solid days at home, and I would take a shower, do my laundry, visit with my folks, and go back to work. And I did that. I loved being on the open road. I loved my job. I loved night transportation. One of my driver managers said, DMs we call it, one of my driver managers said, "You're the only driver I have to tell you got to take some time off and go home." When I came back from my 5th and final time to Japan and COVID hit, I worked in 7 months. I think I took 4 days off. My driver manager had to say, we're entitled to 1 day off for every week we're on the road. Now to put this in perspective, the regular normal people work Monday through Friday and they have 2 weekend days off. So they have 8 days off. 8 days off every month. I had 4, half as much. The average person works 40 hours a week. I worked, on average, 12 hours a day. We could work up to 70 hours in 8 days, but the point is, I worked. Now, my work, granted, most of it was driving 500 or 600 miles a day. Granted, it wasn't hard physical labor. It was just simply driving a beautiful truck, $140,000 truck, doing something I absolutely loved. And to me, it wasn't even work. But nevertheless, we had hours of service, and I got paid by the mile, and it was what I did for a living, and I loved it. It all came to an end because of simply a micro sleep. Now, I took photos of the truck after it happened, but the point is, now someone's tailgating me, of course. Of course, someone's tailgating me. I'm going 29 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone, and there's a person tailgating me, and I'm hitting a red light. What people do here, and it's all day long. They tailgate, They can see there's a red light. They got to race up to a red light, slam on their brakes, go to the next red light, slam on their brakes, go to the next red light, slam on their brakes, tailgate, honk, drive like maniacs, swerve in and out of traffic, run red lights. It's the people here are the worst drivers, and that's the hardest part of my Lyft business, is driving with these four-wheelers in Denver. I got my left signal, I'm making a left turn. Fortunately, this guy's going down, but he has to race up to the red light. Everyone has to race up to the red light and slam on their brakes, and then tailgate the next person. That's what they do here. Now, I'm actually going over to the charging station to charge this to 80% before I go to Starbucks.
That's crazy.
Well, there's my bro.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going?
How you doing, man?
Good to see you, man.
He built, this guy is cool. I locked
Oh, yeah,
myself.
he's
He's a cool dude. See, that's why I love living here. See,
Everyone's
anyway,
around.
bro, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you,
I was
man.
actually going over. Are you going to work?
I am. I was on break, so I only had like
Okay.
3 minutes left.
Are you
But that-
gonna be in the back kitchen?
The timing of you coming
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
I'm on
Synchronicity, bro.
It's perfect.
Are you gonna be in the back kitchen or the front?
Both. I'm working both today, so
Well,
I'll be
bro,
bouncing between both.
this was like 3 minutes of golden.
Amazing. It was amazing. It was meant to be.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
No, bro, I
love
appreciate
seeing you,
you.
Doug. Good seeing you. Are you coming
yeah.
in today?
Yeah, I'm coming right now. I was literally going to the
Oh, wait.
restaurant.
I'll see you in 3 minutes then.
Okay, 3 minutes.
See you, Doug.
That was a synchronistic moment. That's my bro. That was my bro. I was walking out my back door to Legal Pete's, and he's one of my favorite people here in Denver. Now, Sylvia Santos probably doesn't appreciate me because I'm 70 years old. I got fucked up teeth, and she hasn't talked to me in 25 years. I'm actually going to Legal Pete's. That was that was Bloom. I got lots of videos. That was literally today. I'm on the edge of losing my apartment, but here's what we have to do: is seize the moment. Doesn't look like there's anybody. I'm literally going in to Legal Pete's right now. So all of you in this, that's the BD Grill that closed. And this is where I live, folks. Sushi. I know we're going into Legal Pete's right now. We just talked to
Got a lot
Blue.
of videos here, and at the end of the day, I feel, as I'm watching the videos of you and going through the videos myself, like I feel that people can connect to you in a way, and if you keep these videos in a pattern that let people have a dose of you and what you're talking about, then they want more, so they click next to the next video and next to the next video. And yes, maybe there are those videos that are like an hour long. You know, I'm not saying that you can't have long videos. I like the idea for right now, thinking of keeping it as short and as concise and compelling as well. You want to have things that are really get people to think. Like earlier this week, you had a video that was you in the truck, and you had, you know, you were going through some personal feelings, and you were just kind of feeling like whatever. And then later in the next clip, you were like back at it. Energy was high through the roof, and it was like, you know, that was great video right there. And I could just see people getting connected to the real talk. You know, just like right now, you're in your truck. It's so cool. Like people are actually interested in the truck lifestyle, whether they want to do it or not. Just like van life, you know, there are a lot of people that are interested in traveling in a van or in a bus. More people are interested in watching it than actually doing it. So if you actually are doing it yourself, well, you have that attractor factor that people are going to want to watch you, you know. So that's really what it's all about, finding something that you love and tap into it. Like Michelle and I, we love travel, we love video, we love the van. You know, that's what we share. We love personal development. Same stuff that you are loving as well, only you do it in the truck life. You know, you're doing it in the back of a truck sleeper. You've got that as that's your travel space, that's your studio, that's your everything right there, and you're able to kind of just blast off to all different places in the country. So, what's that?
Absolutely.
Hold on,
Absolutely.
Michelle wants to add something.
Yeah, I just want to say that inspires people to use like the way you inspired you, considering people on the road. If someone wanted to actually pursue a job or career after maybe they're done on the road, this should fulfill the desire.
Right. I don't know if you could hear any of that, but Michelle was just saying like how, like what you do, it inspires people to like, you know, be able to go and even create a living or a travel life. Like, let's say they think their travel days are over. Well, you know, they can go work, make money, and travel at the same time. So it's like, it's really a no-brainer when you think about it. Honestly, it really is.
Well, think about it. Let me break this down, Mike. Okay. It's really, really cool. Like we've talked about our experience with network marketing and affiliate marketing. Okay. What's cool, I was talking to my driver manager, Michael, who's a young guy, and he's open to part of this too. I said, I actually want to bring the culture of night in the office, and you, my dispatcher, bring you onto my channel. So I'm like, here, I have a little dialogue with my manager. So it makes it more real. So I can talk about the relationship with your driver manager and how close you are. And it's not typical corporate America. They're really cool. You know, they're really hip. Like when they answer the phone, sometimes they're like, "Hey, brother," it's like, okay, yeah, everything's cool. You know, they're just real. It's real cool. But what my point is, what we're talking about is, when I bring in a driver from another company that's not happy, and they see my video and what I'm doing, and they're like, "I'm not on daily pay." I mean, he can actually send the transfer before 10 o'clock in the morning, and he gets paid that night. I have to wait 2 weeks for a paycheck. That is so cool. Yeah, so I kick down that. I'm actually going to do a video. I love night. I'm going to go down point by point by point by point by point by point. So I have very specific reasons why I love night. So someone watches that. But what Mike was saying, he said, "Dude, we pay $1,500 per driver." So what that means, when you go to Japan, if you get your whole social media thing where you have enough traffic and enough signups in a month, you realize you could be sipping your. He said this. You could be sipping your latte or your sake in Japan and have 10 signups in the month and have $15,000 income while you're in Japan, and Night's supporting it. I only have to do one load a month. I can just say, "Hey, I'm making more money recruiting. I'm just gonna start going to Japan a lot. I'm gonna go to Japan every other month." Because I could go to Japan with visa 6 months out of the year.
Yeah. So I mean, and now you're in Japan, and now people are watching. Hey, how's he in Japan? What's he doing? And then you just tell them that you just, you know, you recruit and you.
I'm in my recruiting mode.
Exactly.
And hear me out on this. What's cool is, guess what? I'm just saying, let's say you were from another company, you saw this, and now you're with Night, you're in your night truck, I'm in my night truck, we're doing a hangout. Instead of the van, we're in the night truck. You have the same opportunity. You can bring a seasoned driver for $1,500. You have the same opportunity. See the duplication? It's just like network marketing. I'm recruiting you into the opportunity, and then you have the same opportunity I have. 100% commission, $1,500 per. There's a power there, and pretty soon you have one driver, two drivers, four drivers, 10 drivers, all saying the same thing. It gets very powerful, and then I'm excited about it because I can create a situation that if 2-3 years from now I can't drive as much, I have another income stream.
Exactly.
I have something that I've created.
Well, you've also, with the YouTube channel and with not only your stories and your truck lifestyle, you know, you can definitely be building something that's going to set you up, you know, for what you're talking about. And it's a great thing to do. There are people out there that are your age or even a little older than you who are in a similar boat where it's time for them to make a decision, and you know, maybe they just haven't thought about what you're talking about. So, you know, you add that to the YouTube channel. You've got all these different things that you can add. And even giving value to whatever it is that you want to share. You know, you could you could share your starting process about video. You could start, little things about truck driving stuff, because we want to piggyback off of keywords. Like, what topics are people most concerned about in the truck driving lifestyle? And you don't even have to go out there and make any extensive video. This could just be you, sitting right where you're sitting now, or in the truck, and just do a video. Or, you could even go live on the YouTube channel and do something like that. And then I can just make a video with, I can use other B-roll footage of other truck driving stuff, like I've done before with your videos. So, it's more or less, you could just share the mindset, because, if people are thinking about truck driving and they're worried about backing up the truck, if you could just tell them second thing about how easy
Well, what
that
I'm
is,
saying
not
is,
to worry about, that would be like one thing that we could piggyback off of as a keyword, and then bring more people into your channel.
I wanted to mention, Mike, I wanted to tell you that I honestly think it's going to be more powerful. I can have you don't necessarily have to go get other people's B-roll and stuff. I don't mind shooting video. I think it's going to be more personal and giving more authority if I'm actually filming. Like backing. It says some other trucker that it kind of like, who's this guy? We want Doug to show. So we have to have it all inclusive, where I'm the authority, not some other guy from another company or another night driver. I'm the one that can do this. I have been a trainer. I can go through point by point all the basic fundamentals that you have to learn as a truck driver. And it's not a big, that other day when I was talking about scaling at the truck stop, I just did that spontaneously when in the middle of a load. It was real easy for us to have the basic mechanics. Like, for example, I'll talk about backing just briefly. Backing, the key thing with backing is a few points. Number one, you're not going to learn how to back by thinking about it. Everybody goes through a learning curve and back, and you're gonna be scared. You're gonna be embarrassed. You can pull into truck stops. Everybody's watching you. They can immediately tell you're a rookie just by your trailer's going, your tractor's going all over the place, and you're embarrassing yourself. And I can watch a guy back up at the truck stop and go, oh my God, this is a brand new person. And everybody in their truck starts going, okay, I gotta watch him. They're all, and then some guys will jump out and help the guy. So there's everybody goes through that. You don't get, but key point one, everybody starts in the same place. Two, it's all about the setup. It's just like any other thing you do. You get good at it, and the setup, what I mean by that, you have to pull in, you have to set up properly to back up. So it's easy. Number two, you have to know what's out. Every time you back up, there's obstacles, there's poles, there's other trucks, there's things you can run into. So you have to get out and look around and know what dangers there are when you're backing up. What blind spots you have. So I could go through point by point by point by point the fundamentals of backing, and I can film it. I could even ask another driver, can you film me backing up today? Just grab a driver, hey, can you do me a favor and let him use my camera and actually film me backing up, so they can actually see me, like they can see the hole I'm going into. They'll see me actually do it, and they go, yeah, Doug's pretty good at this. So that's no problem. I could do all of that, and that's not hard. So I can go through pre-trip, backing, trip planning. Just there's probably about five major things that you have to do over and over. That's your daily method of operation. And I could have those, and we could have them all set up, just bum, 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 and they're done.
How about we do that this week? Because I've got a lot of content to still go through from your end. Just kind of, I've got one video that's great upload, and then I've got to go through. There's a couple I saw on your YouTube that I'm just going to be downloading and uploading, so there shouldn't be any editing. So that way I can, from today on, I can just, finish those couple videos, and then this week you can just kind of add some training, do some training videos in there, and then, maybe just like your thought process on each of those steps. And then I can take those videos, we can put them in a playlist on Facebook, and then I can even make it on your website so that people can go to this little members area where they can actually get access to this free training. You know, maybe someone is interested, or, you know, someone is going for a test, or they're gonna, you know, go for an interview and they just want to sharpen up on a few skills. You know, you could have something of free value to offer. That's another piece of this puzzle, is having that lead magnet, something that you give away for free that's special to you, that, you know, brings people to you. Like, hey, I want to go to this channel and subscribe because I want to get this free ebook or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So we can work that into the
Absolutely. Here's another thing that, okay, CRST, the last company I was with, they're a big training company. I mean, they're known to, they take people off the street with no experience, and they're big. Okay, my point is they're a team company. That's who I was with the first 3 years. I was trainer with them. It's a huge company, but there's a lot of people just like myself that they already know when they go to that company, they want to go to another company. They're not going to stay with CRST. So there's that whole CRST network that if somehow through keywords that CRST drivers are thinking about going to another company, that I can say, hey, I'm an ex-CRST driver. I made the change tonight, and here's why. These are the key points and why I changed. And I've been with them now 9 years. You know, and this is why
you can
actually
keyword that to, like, you know, thinking of leaving your, you know, your trucking company, watch this video first. Or, you know, thinking of becoming a CRST truck driver, watch this video first. You know, that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, you know, that we can use these keywords. Even your
the CRST is here.
The chanting that you're doing, we could the you know, that just being like a keyword as well is a way to bring people to you and your channel, you know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I like the direction we're going and what we're producing, but there's a point, obviously, that we have to have sign-ups and traffic and subscribers, and because I have my friend Scott signed up and Tessa signed up, so I have like maybe 2.
Also, this is LC. This was taken actually when I bumped into her in the North Las Vegas terminal. LC also is on my Driving to Tokyo channel. Mike and I did a 1-hour Zoom call where I was in my truck in Northern California and Mike was in his van and LC was on her home time. I'm going to also show you that, at least that part of that interview as well. And these were a couple photographs that I took when I ran into her in North Las Vegas. Just to give you a perspective, I might even cut to an Apple Maps to show you where North Las Vegas in reference to Phoenix is. We used to take the back way to Las Vegas. It was about a 7-hour drive. Now, Las Vegas is one of the largest desert towns in the United States, or cities, but Phoenix by far, in my opinion, was the largest desert city. It was about 7-hour drive east of Los Angeles and south of, well, actually south of Phoenix was Tucson. And I called home a little tiny town called Arizona City, just about an hour outside of Phoenix. That's another thing I'm going to share with you as well, is where I was living, where I was taking my home time, also where my parents were living as well. Lots to cover, but this is LC and I in the North Las Vegas terminal. She was one of my favorite people. She spoke English. For only $35 a day, she made me an authentic Japanese breakfast. She only lived a 5-minute walk from the ocean, so I'd walk to Starbucks and get a venti actually. Go back to her place, she'd make me breakfast, and then she'd often ask me what we wanted to do for the day. We took the slow train from Fujisawa all the way to Kamakura with a big Buddha often. But she's one of my dearest friends in Japan. This is a photo of Sari on the left on Sushi Beach. This is Sari with her doggy, Gucci, that I took this photo on one of her walks. This is me with Sari and Michelle. I had more friends in Japan. I started out only knowing 2. My friend Chikako was my best friend in Denver for 5 years until she got married, and she didn't talk to me for 4 years. She would eventually call me when I was up in Seattle with night transportation and said she was coming back from Okinawa, Japan. Doug, of course, sunny, warm day today here in the Mile High City, often called Mile High City, Denver, Colorado, which is the capital of Colorado. Colorado is known for its mountains. We have 53 14,000-foot peaks, and our Denver International Airport is the 6th busiest airport in the world, and it's 53 square miles of property. Now, I'm right outside of St. Mark's Coffee House, and the neighborhood is called City Park West, and it's a special place for me for a variety of reasons. Number one, it's home for me now, but it hasn't been for about 14 years. See, I left Denver, Colorado, January 2009 at age 55, and now I'm 71. Now, to put things in perspective, when I left here with $250 to my name, I was 55. I just completed washing dishes at Takis Restaurant, which was at the corner of Logan and Colfax, had been there 20 years, and I was paying $155 a week for a room across the street at the Newhouse Hotel, which was directly across the street from the state capitol. That's why we called the neighborhood Cap Hill. Now, before paying for that room, right around the corner at 1535 Grant Street at the Barrister Building, I did janitorial work in exchange for free rent when it was an office building, and I had the one and only studio apartment. Now, that is a special place, or was, still is. Way back in July of 2005, I've got her photo I can flash up. I met a woman named Takako. She had just flown from Tokyo to Los Angeles and took a Greyhound bus here. And how we met, my office building, I happened to be vacuuming at the exact time that she walked up to the front door. If I had been anywhere in the office, 3-story office, I wouldn't have seen her. I opened the door and I asked her if I could take her photo, and this is the photo I'm going to show you next when you see a photo of Chicago at the door. That was from July of 2005. Now it's June of 2025, and I'm now 71 years old. And this is my morning edition of Driving to Tokyo. Stay tuned. We're right back after this commercial break.